Dear students, now in this chapter, Getting to Know Plants, we will be able to understand the different parts of plants and their functions. Though we know plants are living organisms, they grow in the soil and remain fixed at a place through their roots. Plants do not move around like animals do. Plants also do not take food like animals. The plants make their own food by the process of photosynthesis. Plants are of different shapes and sizes. Some plants are very big, some are medium sized, some are small, whereas some are just patches of green materials on the soil. Most of the plants have green leaves. Most of the plants bear flowers. They are called flowering plants. Some of the plants do not bear flowers. They are called non-flowering plants. Most of the plants can be classified into three main groups: herbs, shrubs, and trees. On the basis of their size, nature of stem, and lifespan, plants may be herb, shrub, or trees. So we will discuss all these type of details. First is herbs. Herbs are small plants having a soft and delicate stem. Herbs have a green and tender stem. Herbs are short-sized plants, do not grow more than 1 meter in height. Herbs have a short lifespan. That means they may live for only 1 or 2 seasons. Some of the examples of herbs are tomato, mustard, radish, wheat, paddy, etc. Second is the shrubs. Shrubs are medium-sized plants with a hard and woody stem branching out near the base. Stem of shrub is hard, but it is not very thick. Shrubs do not have a distinct main stem. Branching starts near the ground level. Some of the examples of shrubs are rose, jasmine. The most common example is tulsi, China rose, mehdi. Third one is trees. Trees are tall and big plants with hard and thick woody stem. The trees have one main stem that is called trunk, which gives out so many branches and leaves. Some of the examples of trees are neem, mango, coconut, etc. There are some plants which are different from herbs, shrubs, and trees. These are called climbers and creepers. Climbers and creepers are the plants with very weak stems which cannot stand upright on their own. So first, I am going to discuss about climbers. A plant having thin, long, and weak stem which cannot stand upright but climbs up a neighboring support or a tree, that is called a climber. And for climbing on the neighboring support, they have a special organ for climbing, that is called tendril. So tendril help the climbers to climb on any neighboring support. Examples are grapevine, pea, money plant. Second is the creepers. A plant having thin, long and weak stem, which also cannot stand upright. They don't have the tendril, so they spreads on the ground. It's called creeper. So one major differences is there between climbers and creepers. Climbers, they have a climbing organ known as tendril, but in creepers, they don't have a climbing organ that is called tendrils. So creepers grow along the ground or other surfaces by extending long branches. Example of creepers are pumpkin, watermelon. The main parts of the plant has two parts, root system and shoot system. The part that is present under the ground or the part that remains in the soil is called the root system. The part that grows above the ground is called shoot system. So stem, leaf, flower, fruits, they are just coming under the shoot system. We will discuss in detail about the different system and their associated parts and the function. So first we will discuss about the root. The part of the plant which is below the ground is called root. Root perform different type of function. First, roots anchor the plant to the soil. That means roots fix the plant firmly to the soil. This prevents the plant from being pulled out easily or blown away by the wind. Second function, roots absorb water and minerals present in the soil. Water and minerals reach the stems and the branches through a system of a thin tube present in the roots and the stem. Last function, roots help in holding the soil together and that prevents soil erosion. If we will go through the types of root, roots are mainly of two types, taproot and second one is fibrous. Taproot is a straight tapping root which grows vertically down into the soil and gives out branches on all the sides. That means taproot is the main root and the side roots are called lateral roots. Or we can say the root having a main root that is known as taproot and side roots are called lateral roots. Examples of the plants having taproots are neem tree, mango tree, tulsi. Second is the fibrous root. Some plants do not have a main root. They have a bunch of similar roots called fibrous roots. So the fibrous roots consist of many thin fiber-like roots of similar sizes. Some of the plants having fibrous roots are grass, paddy, maize. Second parts of the plant is stem. So stem is the part of the plant which grows vertically up from the ground. That is called stem. Stem supports all the branches, leaves, flowers and fruits. The stem of a tree is the strongest part of the tree and it is known as a trunk. Some of the important functions of the stems are stems holds the plant upright or we can say stem make the plant stand erect. Second function, the stem of plants carries water and minerals from the roots to the leaves and other parts of the plant. Next function, the stem carries the prepared food from the leaves by the process of photosynthesis. So after the process of photosynthesis, whatever the food that is being prepared in the leaves, that is transported to other parts of the plant. We can also say stem holds the leaf in such a way that leaves can be able to get plenty of sunlight for the process of photosynthesis. The stem having a vascular tissue that is known as xylem and phloem. Xylem helps in the transportation of water and minerals to the leaves, and their leaves prepares the food by the process of photosynthesis. And the food is transported by a long tubular structure, vascular tissue that is known as a phloem. So after preparation of the food, with the help of phloem, food is being transported to different parts of the plant in upward as well as in downward direction. Next part of the plants, that is the leaf. Leaves, that is also called as a kitchen of the plant. So leaf is a broad, flat and green part of a plant which is attached to the stem. So the part of the leaf by which it is attached to the stem is called petiole. So we can say with the help of petiole, leaves are attached to the stem. The broad green part of the leaf is called lamina. The lines on the leaf are called veins, and the thick vein in the middle is called midrib. So there is a midrib, one main vein in the center of the lamina, and a large number of veins spread out from the midrib to all parts of the leaf. This midrib and veins consist of bundles of tubes, some of which carry water into the leaf and others carry away the food from the leaf. There is also a structure, a minute pores that is present on the surface of leaf, which are called stomata. Stomatas are very small. We cannot see them with naked eye. So the function of stomata that helps in the exchange of gases. They also allow excess water vapor to remove out from the surface of the leaf, that is known as transpiration. The leaves of plants contain a pigment that is called chlorophyll. So due to presence of this chlorophyll, the color of leaves are green in color. And function of chlorophyll? Chlorophyll can absorb energy from the sunlight. So what are the important function of the leaves? The first and most important function of the leaves make food for the plant by the process of photosynthesis. In the process of photosynthesis, carbon dioxide combines with the water in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, and that will form a food known as glucose with the release of a gas that is known as oxygen. So the leaves make food for the plant by the process of photosynthesis. In the process of photosynthesis, plants, they are taking water from the soil with the help of roots. Carbon dioxide, they are taking from the atmosphere. Sunlight, they are taking from the sun. And chlorophyll is already present on the surface of the leaves. So these all combine together, or we can say these are the raw material. Whenever they are going to mix together, they form a food in the form of a glucose with the release of oxygen. And that food is stored on the surface of the leaves and oxygen is being released in the atmosphere through the stomata. That prepared food, some of the food is being used by the plants for their natural activities, and extra food that is being stored in different parts of the plant. Next part of the plant that is very important, that we know flower. Flower are the most beautiful parts of a plant. Different plants have different types of flower. Flower are of different size, different shape, different color. Some flowers have different smells also, but some of the flowers do not have any smell. So flower is the most beautiful part of the plant, and flower is that part of the plant which contains the reproductive organ. The main function of flowers is to produce fruits and seed. So we will discuss about the different parts of the flower. If we will start from the bottom or from the outermost side, the main parts of a flower are sepal, petals, stamen, and pistil. So first we will discuss about the sepal. The green leaf-like part in the outermost circle of a flower are called sepal. Function of the sepal: sepal protect the flower whenever the flower it is in the bud form. Sepal may be separated from each other or joined together. Second is the petals. So inside the sepal, the parts that is present in the flower, that is known as petals. Petals are the most attractive part of a flower. Petals also for different flower, different colors are there, different shapes are there, different sizes are there. Petals can be blue, green, red, white, or any other color. Some of the petals of the flowers have natural scent in them, and some of flowers they do not have any smell. Petals may be either separate from one another or joined together. So the number of petals and sepals in a flower is not always equal. Third part of the flower is stamen. Stamen is the male part of a flower. The stamen is actually made up of two parts, a filament and an anther. The stalk of a stamen is called filament. And the swollen top part of the stamen is called anther. So two parts of stamens are there. First is anther, second is filament. So the part of stamen where pollen is produced, or we can say the stalk of stamen is called filament, and the swollen top of the stamen is called anther. And this anther contains a yellow powder-like substance called pollen or pollen grains. And these pollen grains contain male sex cells of a plant. Second is the pistil. In the center of a flower, there is a flask-shaped organ, and this flask-shaped organ is called pistil. Pistil is the female parts of a flower. Pistil is made up of three parts: stigma, style, and ovary. The top part of a pistil is called stigma. It is a sticky platform at the top of the style where pollen is deposited. The middle part of the pistil is called style. It is long, cylinder stalk that connects the stigma and the ovary. The swollen part at the bottom of the pistil is called ovary. The ovary contains egg-like structure called ovules. And the ovules contain female sex cells of a plant. Next is the process of pollination. The pollen grains that is present on the inside the anther are transferred from the anther to the stigma of the either the same flower or on the another flower of the same kind by different agent like wind, water or insect. So this process is called pollination. So after transferring the pollen grains on the surface of the stigma, then that will move inside the ovary through this style. So after pollination, the ovary swells up and changes into a fruit, and ovules changes into the seed. Thank you.